Welcome back to the Wicky Wacky radio show. I'm your host, Reid.
And I'm Frank.
Gobble, 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 gobble. It was recently Turkey Day,
It was Turkey Day.
right? And according to Parade.com, not a sponsor, everybody's favorite thing about Thanksgiving is actually the leftovers. Can you imagine that?
I can't imagine that, but I guess if Parade.com said it, it's gotta be true.
Well, you listeners and folks will be able to look it up yourself. I'll have the link to this list of facts that I'm pulling from. And they say it. So we'll have to take their word for it for now. And
Well, I had a nice Thanksgiving, did you?
I sure did. We had a good turnout. My family and I got together here at our house.
I had a nice time, too. I had, for the first time, a smoked turkey.
Uh-huh.
I've had, like, deep fried and traditionally baked and all that, but this one
Right.
was smoked, I guess in a smoker or something. I don't know how they did it. But, oh, my gosh, it was so good. It was so good.
Sounds pretty good. And speaking of leftovers, I believe along with some of our fun facts, we got some crazy leftover ideas that people do with their Thanksgiving leftovers.
Oh, yeah. I swear by one.
I bet you do. You'll be cooking it all weekend.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I'm going to start off with our first official fact, although I did have that one about people liking leftovers written down as one, but it was a good intro. So we'll start with a real one that I got written down from Parade.com. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Let's see. There are 4 towns in the United States named Turkey.
Really?
Yep. They're in Texas, Louisiana, North Carolina, and Arizona.
Wow.
Town's called Turkey. Turkey, Texas.
Turkey, Texas.
Sounds like some like comedian's name or something. A YouTuber's name. Kind of like this guy I like watching called Turkey Tom.
Turkey Tom.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He does like internet documentaries.
Imagine if you could make it like so meta. You could be like Turkey Tom raises turkeys in Turkey, Texas.
Whoa. But only Toms.
No hens.
That's right.
No hens at all. Oh, boy. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, how about one of those delicious recipes? You got one ready for us?
Well, it's not a mind-boggling one, but it's an easy thing to do with leftover turkey.
Okay.
If there is leftover turkey. I don't
Yeah.
have leftover turkey when I eat at Thanksgiving. But if you got leftover turkey, you could actually make some Tex-Mex tacos with using your turkey meat. Just put in a little taco seasoning or fajita seasoning in.
Ooh,
Yeah, really good.
that sounds like it could be pretty delicious.
Yeah. I heard Turkey Tom feeds it to all his turkeys that he's raising
In
there
Texas.
in Turkey, Texas.
That's right.
That's how good those Tex-Mex tacos are. Turkey Tex-Mex tacos.
Turkey Tom, only raising Toms in Turkey, Texas, eating Tex-Mex turkey.
Because you couldn't have it any other way.
That's right. And Turkey Tom's not a sponsor either, just to be clear.
I've never even met the guy.
I've never met him either, but I've been watching his videos lately. And speaking of lately, do you want to know how many estimated turkeys are, as of lately, possibly cooked?
How many... say it again. How many turkeys have possibly been cooked?
No. How many turkeys do you think are estimated to be cooked for Thanksgiving?
I will say 330 million.
Everybody gets one turkey?
Yeah.
That's a lot of dang turkeys.
That's just a guess.
46 million for Thanksgiving.
Right, for one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 330 million turkeys in a whole year.
No, I
For
don't.
all year.
I was guessing for Thanksgiving for the one day.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. What's the old saying? Every something and every chicken in a pot.
I don't know that.
Oh, well, whatever it is.
Maybe a chicken in every pot, something like that.
Oh, I feel like there's another line
But I
to
don't
it.
know what it is. I know. I don't know that one. I do
Um,
not know that one.
Well, it's some old line from like the early 1900s. But instead of every chicken in a pot, everybody's got a turkey on a plate.
Huh.
And know what goes good with turkey?
I hope you're going to say cranberry sauce.
I was gonna say mashed potatoes.
Oh, well, sure. Go ahead with the mashed potatoes.
Okay, you wanna know what I don't do this. Wanna know what I've heard the other people do with their mashed potatoes?
What?
They like to, it's kind of like a foot cleaner. They mash it up even more with their feet and get in between their toes, and they scrub it all off.
That's crazy.
It leaves their feet all shiny, almost like people like will get dirt and rub it all over their face.
I bet you could do that with in other places too. Imagine using it as like a face mask.
Ooh,
just letting the potatoes dry, and then like you scrub it off.
Peel it off. You peel off like
Yeah,
a
it's
potato
a potato
skin.
peel.
Yeah. But no, it's really fun. I've heard with your feet and the toes and mashing it up feels fun.
Well, that's so funny that you would say that to me because, I mean, I didn't think about doing anything weird with mashed potatoes, but, I'm just one man. There's at least 330, I don't know. People, just kidding. I just like that number. I've guessed it before. You remember?
Yeah.
But anyway, there's actually a routine that I like to do with the cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you'll remember a couple years back, or I don't remember how long it's been, but I watched some kind of documentary or some kind of liberal hullabaloo, about not wearing deodorant with the aluminum and all the bad stuff.
Illuminati?
Yeah, exactly. And I stopped wearing deodorant, and so now I actually learned, it was at Thanksgiving, I don't know how many years back, somebody gave me the tip that you could use the cranberry sauce as like an antifungal,
antiperspirant.
Well, it doesn't. I don't know about antiperspirant, but it helps clean. It helps
a
fight.
deodorizer.
It helps fight the bad bacteria. Yeah, that causes the odor.
Oh, gotcha.
And it kind of leaves a cranberry scent behind too.
That makes sense.
Yes, and ever since, I tell you what, I've just been using Ocean Spray.
Cranberry sauce?
I open a can of that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The condensed kind.
Oh, yeah.
That comes in the can.
Yeah, when you tip it over kind of like gelatin.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I just leave that in the can in the refrigerator, and I just pop the lid whenever I need it every day, and get a little bit on my fingers and put it up and use it as deodorant. I tell you what, it works.
Does it?
You try it once, you'll be hooked.
I might have to give it a shot.
Yeah. I swear by it. That's the one I hinted about earlier. I said I swear by it.
Okay.
Ocean Spray, though. Don't go for those cheap brands.
Right. Ocean Spray is the best.
Not a sponsor.
Right. Well, I might just have to give that Ocean Spray cranberry sauce a try, because you can always try out new deodorants, because if you don't know, listeners, you get used to them. Your body gets used to them after a certain point, and they don't work. So I've been told, anyway. But how about another Turkey Day fact?
Turkey Day fact. Turkey Day fact.
Do you know what goes with Thanksgiving?
I could guess a couple of things, but I don't want to say some of them, so go
All
ahead.
right, well, football.
Football, that's definitely one.
Yeah, well, the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions have played the most Thanksgiving Day football games. The Detroit Lions have played nearly every year since 1934, and the Cowboys since 1966.
Yep.
And they sure enough played again this year.
I said it on the day while I was out in traffic, and I said to somebody, I bet the Cowboys will be on, and yep, of course they were.
Yep.
I mean, it's not even like speculation at this point.
Right.
It's like
And I, when we turned it on during our dinner, I called it the Cowboys and Indians game.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it's the Washington Commanders that they are playing, formerly known as the Redskins. not even just the Indians, but a type of Indian or a depiction of an Indian, if you will.
I think you mean Native American.
Right.
As somebody who is 1/16th Cherokee, I take extreme prejudice at the words that you.
I'm sorry, you're not from India. You're from right here in Ohio. Or some other part of the country where the Native Americans had to put themselves.
That's right. You seem to know that, but I don't know how.
Oh, goodness. You want to know what my favorite thing is other than the mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving?
It's the booze. You have good booze. Yeah.
Of course. All the pumpkin booze.
Pumpkin booze.
No, I'm just kidding. There's no pumpkin booze.
There's pumpkin pies.
That's right. Pumpkin pie. I had some pumpkin pie. Actually, there was pumpkin pie here, but I did not have any.
What are you, a communist?
I had some pumpkin roll.
With the cream cheese?
Yeah, which, goodness gracious, I could only have a little bit of it.
I know. That's why I can't have it. That stuff is so rich.
Yeah. And have you ever made a pumpkin roll? Do you know how to make a pumpkin roll?
I don't think it would be hard, but I've never done it. No.
You push it down a hill.
Well, I've certainly done that.
One of my favorite pumpkin jokes.
That's a good one.
I can't believe I didn't even think about it when we were doing our pumpkin spice podcast episode, but it was pumpkin spice, not just pumpkin
We
rolls.
made a pumpkin spice podcast?
We sure did. I believe it was episode number 30 or 31.
Is that kind of meta, or did we join the fad?
The
I don't
fad?
remember coming out with a pumpkin spice anything.
Of course. I mean, pumpkin spice is on the range and on the way.
Oh, so we jumped on the bandwagon.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right. We had to get on
I
that.
forgot all about that check from
We had to get on that gravy train.
Gravy train. Yeah. Pumpco, we miss you. Feel
That's
free
right.
to write
sponsor us again.
anytime.
Pumpco
Write us a
Enterprises. Well, speaking of gravy,
Prior sponsor.
I don't think I have anything about gravy. You got anything about gravy?
Oh, yeah, I've got a hot tip.
All right, let's hear that hot tip about some hot gravy.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever in a pinch, okay, it's Thanksgiving, you're in a mix, everybody's over, one of the last things you make is the gravy.
Yep.
And if you have run out of flour, there's a great little ingredient that a lot of people have lying around in their garages, anywhere. You can find it. You can go make some pretty easy. You just put in a little sawdust.
Sawdust.
Nobody will ever know the difference. Not Aunt Miriam. I mean, her dentures barely fit properly anyway. She won't notice. So she really
needs some fiber anyway.
Exactly. Adds fiber. Amen.
Yeah. It's natural.
Well, you have to be careful. Make sure the wood you're using is not painted
or treated in any way.
Right.
Yes.
Because that can cause some big issues. But
Cancer.
if it's natural wood, you just go out to a tree, make some.
Yeah, right out in your yard.
Real easy peasy.
Chop the cherry tree.
You might
down
already
like
have
old
some
George
lying
Washington.
around. Most people do.
Yeah.
I know in my garage there's tons of sawdust laying on the floor. I don't know how it got there, but there's tons of it out there.
Oh.
And maybe you could borrow some from one of your neighbors. I guess you could do that with flour too, but
that might be a little awkward asking your neighbor for some flour.
Yeah, they'd never think anything about the sawdust. So
that's right.
Sawdust
is okay.
Just a little tip there for that.
Right. If you run out of flour,
because you gotta have gravy.
Yeah, you can't have your mashed potatoes or your turkey without some gravy.
And everybody's got sawdust, so
that's right.
It's around.
Well, you know who? Well, not who, but we just mentioned shortly ago that the Cowboys and the Lions like to play on Thanksgiving. Do you happen to know what year the first NFL Thanksgiving Day game was?
61.
Of what century?
1961.
Well, fool, I just told you recently that the Lions have been playing since the 1934 on Thanksgiving.
So I'm like 30 years off.
You're at least guessing too late. Or too recently, however you want to look at it.
52.
What? You're going the wrong way. It's
wrong way?
1920.
What did I say?
Well, at first you said 1960 something.
Then I said 50 something.
Yeah, and I told you that earlier.
I was going down.
Oh, sorry. Well, you still weren't getting close enough because I told you the Lions were playing on Thanksgiving since 1934.
I know, that's fine, but don't confuse me. I can still be wrong, but I was going the right way in time.
Well, yes, 1920s. And you probably won't guess who the teams were because these names aren't even around. And I didn't even...
Oh, I love to guess at that then.
Okay.
I will say the... hang on. I know I'm going to nail this. The Pimple Pickers.
Oh, you're so close.
And the Bell Boys.
Well... It was the Akron Pros versus...
Is that like acne pimples?
The
I think there's something there.
Bulldogs.
I got nothing for that.
What? You said pit bulls? Pit bulls something others.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
You did. And I was close to bulldogs.
I said Pimple Pickers and...
Yeah, something else. But bulldogs is pretty close to pit bulls.
Pimple
Oh,
Pickers.
I thought you said pit bull pickers.
No, that's why I went Akron's like acne.
Oh. I gotta get my ears cleaned.
Me too.
But no,
You should
it's
hire
the
somebody.
Pros, which I assume is Akron, Ohio, and the Canton Bulldogs, which I also assume is Canton, Ohio, because in that region of the state, I believe is, if it's not the NFL Hall of Fame proper, it's the Football Hall of Fame, is somewhere up in that area of Ohio. So that's cool to know that two old-time Ohio teams were the first to have Thanksgiving football for NFL.
OH.
I-O! And I didn't write this one down, but I remember it. The first actual football game on Thanksgiving was between Princeton and Yale.
I hope those Yale
sometime in
lost.
the late 1800s. And then, like I said, 1920 is when the NFL decided to make it a tradition also.
That's cool. Well,
Yep.
you know, a lot of people at Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
around any of the holidays, they drink.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, while they're watching football, they drink. I bet a lot of people get drunk. Wouldn't you say? Probably.
Yeah, Hank
Fair
Williams.
fair number of them. Hank Williams?
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Okay. I guess I don't know him either. I know of him.
Oh. Well, what I was going to say is last year, for the first time, I tried drunk turkey.
Drunk turkey?
You ever heard about the turkey getting drunk?
I've not heard about the turkey getting drunk.
Well, imagine it. Have you ever heard of a thing called rum ham?
Oh, I have heard of rum ham.
So maybe you can smell what I'm stepping in.
I certainly
because
do.
last year we tried drunk turkey. I'll tell you what. You put that thing, you cook it,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So it's at least fully cooked. Just
Okay.
You should have a temperature reader, so you just
Yeah.
get it right there to where
A
it's
meat
considered.
thermometer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can get it right there to where it's considered cooked and pull it. Then what you do is you let it cool down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So it's not scorching hot. You pour it in a bath of spiced rum.
Uh-huh.
Let it sit overnight.
Nice.
Then you slice that thing, make sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh,
You better not be taking those to work.
of course I take them to work. Why do you think I tried the recipe?
Hey, they never said... They said you can't drink on the job, but they never said about eating on the job.
Amen, brother.
Well, I might have to give that a try.
Yeah,
Maybe some turkey soaked in some good beer, too, would be nice.
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they do the hot dog.
I just wonder if
bratwurst
it's
and stuff.
I wonder if it's alcoholic enough to like penetrate.
Oh, I
into
might have to
the
get
meat.
something really strong.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, everybody's favorite president. Do you
George
know-
Washington, of course.
Everybody's second favorite president.
Abraham Lincoln, of
That's
course.
right. You know what he did?
He chopped down a cherry tree. No, that's George Washington. He made Thanksgiving a federal holiday.
Yeah. He, on October 3rd of 1863, Abe Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a national holiday.
That was shortly after West Virginia became a state.
Yes, it was. Only a couple months later. Of the same very
That
year.
Abe Lincoln, I tell you what, he's a hell of a guy. Just
Sure is.
wonderful, man.
Got a nice hat.
I prefer a bowler hat, you know.
You know,
but
like a stove top, what do they call them? Stovepipe hats? Is that what he had?
not my favorite.
Well, he looked good on them. They didn't have bowler hats at his time, so maybe he would have looked all right with them.
What? Why wouldn't they have had those hats?
I don't know. I feel like they weren't really...
Call a historian.
They probably did, but they weren't in fashion, I guess is what I'm saying.
Probably not. Not in America. No.
Not until later on. And speaking of later on, you know what I'm going to do later on?
I could guess.
What's your guess?
Her name's probably Samantha.
What?
What?
No. I'm going to take some stuffing and restuff it. Not into a turkey.
Shut up. My last thing was a recipe on what to do with stuffing.
Well, it better not be stuffing inside a pig.
No, mine's PG-13.
Oh, mine's PG. Okay.
I'm suggesting that you're making an R-rated joke, and I'm not going to.
What?
What are you stuffing in a pig, Reid?
The stuffing?
Oh, in a live pig?
No, a cooked pig. You're restuffing the stuffing, the leftover stuffing, into a new pig for Christmas.
Into like a little, what do they call those pigs that you can get and cook? I've seen it done before.
A little pot belly.
Yeah. When I worked in the fancy restaurant, there was a family that would come in, and the chef in the restaurant would cook that pig just for them. And they reserved a room and everything. We hosted it for them like a little party.
Uh-huh.
And they did that. They brought and we cooked their little pot-bellied pig for their family get-together.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm doing with the stuffing. I'm gonna have one of those little pigs for Christmas, and you just take your leftover Thanksgiving stuffing and stuff it right in that pig.
So you think the pig is like moist and juicy enough that it'll moisten the leftover stuffing? So
yeah, and it gives it this delicious bacon flavor.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Pig stuffed stuffing. Try it at Christmas.
Wow. Well, what I was going to suggest is making little like stuffing hush puppies. You could just like
stuffing hush puppies.
Yeah, just sort of like roll them up.
Uh-huh.
You can moisten them, moisten the stuff a little bit
Oh,
and mix it all together. But then you could just like roll them into little balls and bread them,
right,
and deep fry them,
right,
and have little stuffing hush puppies. I bet the kids would just eat those, go whatever.
Bananas.
Yeah, but I think I was also trying to say bonanza. Like it would be a bonanza.
Bonanza over the hush puppies.
Yeah, the stuffing hush puppies.
Well, what you could probably do is if you still got leftover stuffing after stuffing it in that pig, make those stuffing puppies. Stuffing puppies. Stuffed puppies? Yeah?
I'm not following.
It's
like Build-A-Bear? No. Like, what are you... I don't understand what you're saying.
You're taking your stuffing and turning them into the hush puppies. Stuffed puppies.
Oh, wordplay.
Yeah.
I'm still imagining stuffing various things with stuff.
You're crazy. Who in the right mind would stuff something in a puppy?
That's why I said, like, Build-A-Bear. I don't, like, you're just going to take... I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm talking about making the hush puppies out with the stuffing like you were
I
talking
get, you're
about.
just saying, like, a phrase on making stuffing hush puppies.
You gotta give them a name.
They're stuffed puppies. All right. That threw me for a loop, I have to say.
Oh, shit. Do you know what happened in 1989?
1989, there was Stacy. Oh, that's 1985. I don't know.
Well,
I'm sure a couple of things happened that year.
none other than George Herbert Walker Bush was the first president to officially pardon the turkeys. While prior to him, Ronald Reagan did it, I believe, once unofficially. He was like the first person to mention pardoning turkeys. But then when George H.W. Bush had his first Thanksgiving in 1989, he officially pardoned turkeys. And we've been doing it every year since.
You know, that's one of those things I really don't get. Kind of like Groundhog's Day.
Right, well, it's also like the egg roll thing they do at Easter, yeah. I feel like that's an older tradition, though, compared to the turkeys.
It seems much older. Like, the idea of, like, egg rolling seems like from, like, way back.
Right. Well, do you know that a bunch of people travel for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
A whole 31%, according to whatever print.com
31%
sources.
of people?
I assume.
So, like, 31% of, like, 8 trillion?
I guess we're probably just talking about Americans here.
So 31% of 330 billion.
Or is it 31% of a person travels? Wouldn't that be crazy?
I don't see how that would be possible,
69% of
like,
somebody's body is not going anywhere.
Yeah, but like they say like 70-some% of us is water.
Maybe
so
the
how could
water's
that even
traveling.
How could that even work?
Well, 47%.
I'd like to see the math.
47% of those 31% drive. Imagine that.
They're Oh, so they travel by car?
Yeah.
Rather than flapping their wings?
Right. They're not turkeys.
They're not. Gobble, gobble.
Well, speaking of turkeys and flying and traveling, I'll go ahead right to our next two facts that are related to that here. The first turkey trot. The first turkey trot was in Buffalo, New York in 1896 and only had 6 participants. And then...
Were they like major athletes, or why didn't more people participate? That seems interesting to me.
My guess would be it's the first turkey trot and they didn't get very many people to come out. I don't know. But in 2011, the Dallas, Texas turkey trot, hosted by YMCA, broke the record for having the most participants dressed up in turkey costumes, with 661 feathered runners.
Boy, they'll put anything in the Guinness Book, won't they?
I love them, even with their feathers.
Even with their feathers. My boys, my boys. Gobble, gobble. I'm cracking myself up when I do that.
Got any more recipes?
Not really. I'd have to bullshit one.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I know what one of my favorite things to do with green bean casserole. Did you have green bean casserole on Thanksgiving?
I sure did. I always do. It's one of my favorites.
We had it also. And I love taking leftover green bean casserole and picking all the green beans out. And then you know what I do with those green beans?
I assume you eat them at some point.
I reuse them in shepherd's pie.
Oh, you know.
And they give that nice kind of, green bean casserole flavor to the shepherd's pie. It's delicious.
Is that right? So it's like you get the mushroom and the soup flavor.
Yeah, and you get the twice-baked green beans.
Twice-baked green beans. Oh, one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's the best part. And you know what other people like to do with their green bean casserole?
I hope eat it.
No.
What?
Don't. Have you heard about these casserole bombers?
Are they like casseroles that just suck? Like people bring them to parties and they really bring everybody down?
Kinda, but it goes beyond that.
Because I've had some casserole bombs or whatever you said.
Well,
What did you call it?
casserole bombers?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's. Have you heard of these glitter bombs that people get
Leave
the
on
porch
people's
pirates?
doors? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I've heard people take their green bean casserole and use it as the bomb.
Splat!
Yeah, it splats all over people when
Is
they
there
try
a
to take
camera
their-
inside? Can you watch this? There's a green bean cam.
Yeah, the green
the
bean
cam.
Oh, the can. That's a good one.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, but people take their green bean casserole, put it in these boxes just to wait for these porch pirates to come and get their package, and they open it and splat all over them. They got green bean casserole. And then they gotta go home and wash it off, which is worse than the glitter. The glitter might get everywhere, but it washes off easy and doesn't smell. But leftover green bean casserole
Do you want
start-
to hear a story?
can start to smell if those porch pirates don't come get your package quick.
You want to hear a real story about glitter?
Uh-huh.
Because it can be dangerous.
I'm sure.
Seriously, I had a teacher in school who got glitter in her eye.
Cut her eyeball.
No,
Oh.
she couldn't get it out. And they had to surgically remove it. Yes.
Oh.
And ever since then, she was terrified of glitter. And if people
I would be too.
if people wore glitter, brought glitter to school, got glitter anywhere near her or in her classroom, she would freak on people. So, I mean, I'm just saying, glitter can have some consequences, man.
Yeah. So maybe listeners should try the green bean casserole bombs instead of getting glitter in people's eyes.
I'd like to have it bomb right into my mouth. Just
Maybe what people should do is write on the box for those porch pirates, open wide.
open wide. Oh gosh.
And they get a mouthful of casserole. Oh, this next fact is pretty great because you know how we started it off the whole thing.
Well, I think, hang on, I'll just say real quickly.
Okay.
I think the key to that last one
yeah.
would be how much gunpowder you're putting in the can. You got to get,
Well,
for the blast, for it to blast into your mouth.
Right. Gotta get the right green bean and
Propulsion.
gunpowder ratio.
Yeah.
Well, we started off by gobbling over here. And did you know that only Toms gobble, hens cackle? Of course they do.
Isn't that like what they sound like?
That sounds more gobbling than cackling. I'm not sure I know what a cackling hen sounds like. Maybe I should call your mom.
Huh. Yeah, maybe she'd know.
Oh, man. You ruined the joke.
Oh.
I was calling your mom a cackling hen. No, I'm just kidding. Your mama's nice.
My mom, but she's
She's a what?
she is a female turkey. You can ask her.
Oh, goodness.
She's out in the backyard pecking at the ground.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I only got a couple more facts here. We'll try to wrap them up. And this next one is probably my favorite because it comes from one of my favorite presidents who's not all that memorable to most people.
Oh, Taft.
No.
Cleveland.
What? What did I say?
But Millard Fillmore.
Yeah, that guy. No, it's Calvin Coolidge.
Coolidge!
Yeah,
oh,
Calvin Coolidge.
I know Cal. Me
Yes.
and Cal go way back.
Silent Cal, yeah. Well, in 1926,
Sounds
some
about right.
guy named Vinnie Joyce. You know Vinnie Joyce?
Uncle Vinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about him?
Vinnie Joyce gifted Calvin Coolidge a live raccoon.
Oh,
Intended.
sounds about right.
What?
My kin, sounds about right from us folk.
Well, it was gifted to him intended to be used for Thanksgiving dinner. Well, Calvin Coolidge, being a cool dude, no pun intended,
Right.
became attached to this raccoon and named her Rebecca. Rebecca the raccoon,
She probably was a Rebecca.
which is extra awesome because my mama's middle name is Rebecca, which comes from her mama, my grandma, Becky, which presumably her real name was Rebecca. I've never asked.
And I'm sure you wouldn't want any of them to be eaten on Thanksgiving. Whatever holiday.
No, and I wouldn't want them to be raccoons either. But I like Calvin Coolidge, and I like the name Rebecca, and he kept a pet raccoon that somebody gave him that he was supposed to eat, but he was a better man and did not eat the raccoon.
You know, that happened to me once.
Somebody gave you a raccoon?
Yeah, but we did. We
You ate
ate
'em?
it. We ate it.
You add it, and you turn him into a hat.
No.
What?
We ate it, and then he came out the other end.
Oh, what? You still turn him into a hat.
Oh,
His fur.
not the way my grandma cook it.
Oh, you cook him alive? Right in the whole pot?
We eat the fur, sir.
You eat the fur. Oh, goodness.
I'm just playing like my
Well,
mom's not a turkey.
we're not the only ones who celebrate Thanksgiving. You know that?
Who?
Those silly gooses to our north also celebrate Thanksgiving.
The Canadianese?
Yeah. Those Canadian gooses up there.
The gooses? The geeses?
They celebrate Thanksgiving for some reason on the second Monday of October.
Why do they celebrate it at all?
Some sailor sailed from England and found Canada is the gist of it.
That sounds like some horse shit.
Probably is.
I know, but what's it got to do with our Thanksgiving at all? Does it at all?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
It's only here as a fact that Americans aren't the only ones who have a Thanksgiving.
It still seems strange to me, though, but okay. I'm with it now, though.
Well, nobody cares what those Canadians do.
Well, I just know it's a fun fact in my brain that still is going to be there, that this is truly an American holiday, the Thanksgiving. And the whole, like, first Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims and the Indians and all that, and the peacemaking aspect of it, and the true, like, religious thanksgiving to God and all of that is, like, a truly American thing.
Right.
So I get what you're saying now, though. I just wasn't prepared for it. But I'm, like, thinking, like, what? I was, like, so lost on that. But, okay, it's, like, their own Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But does it have the religious aspects that ours does?
I believe so, because, like I said, it was to celebrate and give thanks to the survival of the sailor traveling across the ocean and landing in Canada.
Well, that's very interesting. It's the same time period. It's the same. The people who are leaving the old world probably have some of the same aspirations and concepts in their mind. So, okay,
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yep. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade did not have the big iconic balloons. Instead, they had animals from the Central Park Zoo marching in the parade. That's what Parade.com is
Animals
telling
like
us.
what?
They did not say.
Like an elephant walking down the street?
Probably. Maybe a giraffe.
Sounds right for the time. What year did it first start?
Did I write that down? I don't think I wrote that down. I did not write that down.
It would probably make sense for the time, though.
Yeah.
Because if you think back to, like, what the circuses, how big the circuses were, and that kind of thing.
Right, and I believe Macy's at the earliest was started maybe 1880s. But I would, if I had to guess, probably a little closer to the turn of the century.
You can find me any day at Macy's.
Oh, here we go. And you might enjoy the way I wrote this one.
No, it wasn't ChatGPT.
Say it one more time.
I said, "Oh, it wasn't ChatGPT."
No, it was not ChatGPT this time.
GPT?
Yeah, ChatGPT.
GPT.
Yeah, GPT. But in 1939, the lesser Roosevelt attempted to change Thanksgiving to the third Thursday of November. It was an attempt to extend the holiday shopping season to boost the economy. It was not very well liked. So for Thanksgiving of 1942, it was back to the fourth Thursday of November.
The lesser Roosevelt.
Yes.
Is that how he's remembered?
That's how I wrote it.
Mm-hmm. I've never read that in a book. The greater Roosevelt, the lesser Roosevelt, the inconsequential Roosevelt. Some guy named Roosevelt you never heard of. I don't think that's how it goes.
Well, I'm not trying to write a history book here.
Oh, I see.
I'm just providing a fact about a man who tried to change Thanksgiving.
So which one's the lesser Roosevelt?
Well, the one who was president in 1939.
Probably FDR.
That'd be
I
correct.
don't think so, but
Because the best Roosevelt was Teddy. Everybody loves
he
Teddy.
was the best Roosevelt.
Good old Theodore.
But maybe there will be another.
I suppose there could be. I dare say I've not heard the Roosevelt name mentioned in politics in contemporary times.
But it's one of those things like the name recognition alone.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have everybody in every nursing home vote for that name.
Franklin, I remember him. I'm going to vote for him right now. I knew he'd come back.
That impression is like going to live in my memory forever. That was great. Calvin Coolidge! Well, knock my knickers off!
All right, my last fact here. Are we ready for it?
I suppose.
Do you ever wonder what happens to those pardoned turkeys?
Oh, yeah. I know what happened to them. They're ushered into a dark room.
No, they're pardoned. Don't you dare.
They go live on some magical farm with rainbows and unicorns and whatever. I don't know.
They do go on to live their best turkey lives.
Yeah.
And occasionally, like the turkeys of 2005 and 2009, went to go on to be featured in the parades at the Disney parks. I don't know.
What?
After the
They're just paraded around for the rest of their lives?
I guess in some cases, yes.
That's strange. See, in my reality, what would happen to them is they'd be led into a dark room, and there'd be a little... this would be one of my stipulations, though, is the executioner would have to be a turkey.
Another turkey?
Yeah, he'd have to be the dedicated executioner.
Well, how's that going to work?
He'd bring him in. He'd say, "Gobble, gobble," and lead him into the dark room. It's okay. Gobble, gobble, come in here. We got to talk to you for a minute. And then they would just be like, noose around the neck.
The other turkey's going to do that?
The turkey that works for you is going to lead his brethren turkey into a dark lit room.
But that turkey's not noosing the other turkey.
No, the one who works for you is going to noose the one he's bringing into the room.
Well, how do you get away with that when you're pardoning turkeys? That's not a pardon.
That's just a public spectacle.
Oh.
It's bred in circuses.
So the next day when people see pictures of the turkeys, it's different turkeys.
Might as well
see them on the TV.
There are other turkeys. I mean,
but they're not the pardoned ones.
I'm just saying, what's it matter?
Oh, it matters a lot. You pardon the turkeys, they get to go on and not be butchered.
Oh, whatever. I'd rather eat it.
They go
I'll tell you
on
what,
to
if
be
I was
in
president,
parades. They go on to
if
zoos.
I were president, you mark my words, I would eat those pardoned turkeys. I would say to the Secret Service, I'd say, those ones are not pardoned. I don't care about this. They're not pardoned. I'm going to eat them. And then I would take my picture, Instagram style or whatever, Twitter style.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the names of the turkeys that were pardoned this year?
Liberty and Bell.
That's right.
I'd have ate them both. I'd have rang that Liberty Bell. Tell you
Wow.
what.
Yep. Well, folks, why don't you tell us what you like to do with your Thanksgiving leftovers? And if you want, you can even tell us what you're thankful for. At my dinner, I made everybody go around the table and say something that they were thankful for. And a few people chose to just be thankful for some of the food items that were there, which I guess is okay. But,
Well, you know, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for anybody who might be listening to this. And I'm thankful for you, Reid.
well, thank you. I'm thankful for you as well, Frank.
And I'm thankful for the turkeys, too, because they taste delicious. And that's only ever where I'm coming from, is I know I'm kidding about the turkeys, but it's just because I love to eat the turkeys. I love turkeys. I want them to be happy as turkeys can be and whatever and keep
And happy in
procreating
your
and
belly.
existing. I just want to be able to eat them, too. I love eating turkey. So, sorry to the turkeys, and I'm very thankful for the turkeys.
Well, I sometimes jokingly call Thanksgiving Thank a Turkey Day. So thank you,
Right?
turkeys,
Yes.
for feeding us every year. And thank you, listeners, for listening. And please be sure to go subscribe, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platforms. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and many others. You can also go check us out on YouTube. We upload the audios there as well.
And that's right. Or you could always have your own conservative conversation with a friend and tell us about it. Tell them about us by word of mouth. That always has worked in my experience.
Yep, share.
That's right. You could share our links. That helps the algorithm. Press the like button.
Sharing is caring, they say.
That's right. We're very thankful for you guys. And as always, we thank you for listening.